Good morning, good morning. I'm sure that it's early for my new friends in the Midwest, and it's probably still early for most of my familiar friends, familiar faces in Georgia. But I will go on and get started and just post this video for you all to watch later, and I'm going to attempt to be brief. This post is entitled A Prayer for Entrepreneurs. As some or most of you all know, that I left my full-time job in the classroom in 2011. After leaving the classroom in 2011, I searched about two more years for another teaching position, and nothing opened up. And after that second year of being outside of the classroom, because actually I was looking for a job the last year I was in the classroom, so it was a total of 3 years that I was sending out my resume and cover letters, attempting to find another job in the field of music, and it just didn't come together as I had anticipated. Was a very good candidate. I had a lot of offers, but the timing wasn't right. And now I understand that the timing wasn't right because the plan for me was much greater, one that I really couldn't fathom at that time. So Christopher Marx was birthed out of necessity. I needed to work. I needed a space to exhaust my creativity, and that was the birth of Christopher Marx Design. Everything was built from scratch, from the ground up. I had to develop policies, procedures, everything needed to be a credible business. And I've made several mistakes along the way, but I've learned a lot in the process. Currently, I am serving as a chief of staff, which is a church administration position at my classmates' ministry in University Park, Illinois. I've known Pastor Moses and First Lady Heron for most of my life. Their families are extremely connected to my story, and this position has been quite challenging as well as rewarding. Being the face or the lead staff member of an organization this size has required a very strong skill set and high capacity. And as I seek to become a better leader and a more efficient entrepreneur, being here has offered several lessons that maybe a workshop and classroom cannot best present. And there's no experience better than real life work experience or on the job training. So in moving, many of you all know that there are a lot of things that you have to identify that you're most familiar at home. A new place to stay, a new place to buy groceries, and for people with hair, finding a barber or a stylist is very important. So in moving to the Midwest in 2018, finding a barber for somebody, to take care of my face, because that's just one of the creative gifts I don't have. I don't cut my own hair. So finding a barber was very important. And for personal reasons as well as professional, I think that as I told my nephews this week, people treat you how you look. And it's very important that you take pride in your appearance. So that's not something that I really, philosophy that I created on my own. Is something that, you know, my dad was very, very instrumental in shaping. But the prayer for entrepreneurs, many of you all use this time on Sunday to go to houses of worship. So those of you all who are considering starting a business, those of you all who are currently in business, those of you who are thinking about leaving business, this post is specifically for you. Before you ask God for any investment, good morning, Eddie. My desire for you all, or I would like to encourage you, is to pray for wisdom. To pray for wisdom. The episode that I encountered last night while sitting in the barber's chair was quite disturbing. But I knew that there was a level of wisdom that the shop owner lacked. So I really couldn't fault him majorly for how he was behaving. Good morning, Dominique. But as I stated, those of you all who are going to houses of worship this morning, those of you all who are entrepreneurs, those of you all who are thinking about starting a business, those of you all who have a business, those of you all who are thinking about leaving your business, my prayer for you is that you ask God for wisdom. The key verse that I want you all to use daily is, or recite daily, is found in Proverbs 8, verse number 1. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that one may desire cannot be compared to her. There are two things that I want you all to know that is most essential to your business's success, and those are your customers and your employees. I don't care how much money your business makes, what your bottom line looks like. If your customers and employees are not your highest priority, your business is not worth anything. In reference to the situation last evening, and I'm going to put it all out there because I've spoken with my barber, and he knows about my change in my upcoming schedule. But I've been a client at Trendsetters in Maryville, Indiana, at South Lake Mall since moving to Indiana in 2018. During the course of the time, I've had 2 barbers there. One recently relocated, so I switched chairs and started patronizing a barber by the name of White, who's a very, very talented barber. Probably one of the most talented barbers that has ever cut my hair. And one of the things that I esteem in other creatives is those who approach their craft with the same level of sensitivity and detail that I approach my craft. But last evening, it was the end of the week, it was the end of the night, and it was time for the shop owner to leave, and he needed my barber's booth rent. Well, many of you all know in the age of technology and business in the 21st century that a lot of transactions are not handled in cash. But the shop owner wanted White to pay this week's rent using cash, even though White was explaining to me that his barber, well, not his barber, but the shop owner requires them to accept transactions using debit credit cards. And any entrepreneur knows that there are fees connected with accepting transactions using credit cards. So this shop owner felt that uh, it's okay for the barber to accept uh, payments using credit cards, but it's not okay for him to accept his booth fees using a credit card. Um, for the sake of discretion, I won't tell you how much the booth rent or the dispute was about, but because this is more about the way that it was handled. So it was the end of the night. However, the shop hours allowed this barbershop to maintain a very lively environment until the barbers that are working are finished. So there were about 10 customers, uh, or 10, I'll say individuals, because the individuals included customers, it included other barber, and there's a stylist next to the chair that I was getting my hair cut. So the shop owner proceeds to confront my barber about the booth rent. He makes a very large scene about him inquiring why can't he pay his booth fees uh, using a card. There were several expletives. Uh, the term nigger was used several times. Uh, and just assessing the entire situation, this shop owner was very uncomfortable with the difficult conversation that he had to have. So he attempted to use a term that a lot of people, or a lot of black people, misuse as a form of endearment to kind of placate the situation. However, like I said, the whole approach was inappropriate. You were handling business in the middle of the shop. You were handling the situation in front of clients while I was in the chair as he was preparing to cut my hair. So you're taking him out of the zone that he needs to be in to work properly. So as I stated, I want to just put it all out there just so that people can know the type of business that is being run. Uh, so that's my review for Trendsetters in South Lake Mall at Maryville, Indiana. Like I said, I've spoken with my barber about my upcoming uh, change in schedule, but I was ready to get out the chair and help him pack his station last evening. Entrepreneurs, it's about wisdom. It's about wisdom. I don't care how much money your business is bringing in, how much money your is in your bank accounts. What is key to your business's sustainability and worth are two things: your customers and how you treat your employees. If these two things are not top priority, your business is not worth anything. I don't care what type of life or what quality of life your revenues afford you. If your customers and your employees are not important, your business is not worth anything. And as entrepreneurs, you are your business. So if your business is not worth anything, you are not worth much. And this is not about you as a part of the creation, or you established in the image of God, but this is your character. Your character is not worth anything. This is about your character. So for those of you all who are going to a house of worship today, those of you all who are creating houses of worship where you are, because I believe, as a believer, I think that you can create altars wherever you are. So if your schedule don't permit you to worship among like believers, I encourage you today, before you get dressed to make another dollar, go to Proverbs 8, verse 1. Wisdom, wisdom above everything. Wisdom above everything is my desire, that all of you all entrepreneurs who will hear this will prosper in all things. In all things. That you will prosper in all things. That all of your ideas, all of your visions actualize and manifest to a potential that your mind can't even fathom. However, before you receive the harvest from the seeds of that hard work, I want to ensure that these seeds do not fall in hands and pockets with holes, because your character is flawed and your character does not allow you to receive this level of abundance that your creativity or that your gift is able to produce, because you lack wisdom. This is a very serious matter. We have technology competing with artisans' creativities at a level like none other before. And if you think that you're going to be able to treat your customers and your employees any kind of way and your bottom line does not suffer, you are sadly mistaken. People are closing up shop after being open for lifetimes because they cannot compete with the age of technology. But I promise you, if you operate your organization in wisdom, it will sustain you. Because as a believer, I believe that that is a promise. That is a promise. And as a believer, you have benefits and you have access that non-believers don't have. So that's my time. I got to get some lemons for Pastor. I told them that I was bringing lemons, and I've got to get to the church because I'm opening today. But it's my desire that each of you all have a great day. Again, entrepreneurs, Proverbs 8:1. Those of you all who are in business, who want to be in business and thinking about being in business, Proverbs 8:1. For wisdom is better than rubies. And if rubies don't mean much to you, replace that with something that you care a whole lot about. Wisdom is better than what that thing you care a whole lot about, and anything that you can desire. Anything that you can desire, anything that you may desire, anything that you want really, really bad, cannot be compared. Cannot be compared. That's big. That's big. Wisdom, something that you can't even touch, something that you can't hold, something you cannot smell, something that you can't embrace, is more precious than that thing, whatever that thing is, that you like a whole lot. And even if that thing is something that you probably shouldn't be caring too much for, and anything. So that thing that you can name and the things that you cannot name but you desire cannot be compared to wisdom. You all have a great day. As always, look both ways before you cross the street and drink water. You all have a great day.